Hi guys, so my name is Nisha, and for my internship I was with the Global Engagement Fellowship and the Oxford Consortium for Human Rights, which both have the same goal of cultivating a relationship between college students and the communities in which they live. So about 6 years ago, 7 students from Quinnipiac University attended a conference at Oxford University in London, and it was about the right to education and how that is a human right and that's universal, and we need to work on initiatives that kind of help bring that to light. They had conversations there that they hadn't had anywhere else in their entire collegiate experience. They came back to Quinnipiac University and they decided that they needed to build some sort of program, some sort of space for them to continue having these conversations because they were so important. And that's kind of how the Global Engagement Fellowship was born. And this is the mission statement for them. So they fundamentally believe that they need to work on actively being a part of the communities in which they live for 4 years, using power, privilege, and positionality to first understand, then help. So it has been around for a full 5 years. We're about to complete our 6th year. There's currently 23 students who are active fellows for the 2018 to 19 school year, and those are the people that I primarily worked with. And next year's cohort is going to be approximately 18 students. And there is an alumni base of 72 fellows who were part of Global Engagement Fellowship for a minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 4. So there's 3 key goals to the Global Engagement Fellowship: collaboration, sustainability, and transparency. So a lot of times when you ask people who are locals in a college town what they don't like about that college, it has a lot to do with the fact that colleges are nonprofits, and that means that although they own a lot of property in that town, they aren't necessarily paying the taxes that would benefit the residents of that town. So it was really important for us as a fellowship to kind of bridge that gap and make the collaboration with the community and the transparency really pertinent. So in terms of collaboration, we invite an interdisciplinary group of students to join the fellowship every year, and we really think that that's helpful because a lot of times the people who are just innately wanting to do this fellowship are those who are in humanities fields and not necessarily those who might be like nursing or engineering or physical therapy students, but those people bring different perspectives that are really important to have in a room. We encourage building relationships with already existing community organizations. So for example, there's this amazing nonprofit group out of New Haven, which is about 25 minutes away from Quinnipiac, and they work on reentry programs for formerly incarcerated people. And we have a whole partnership with them through the Global Engagement Fellowship, and we work with them a lot because they already have the contacts and they already have that kind of credibility in the community, and there's no need for us to rebuild that when it already exists. It's a lot easier to just collaborate with them. And we fundamentally believe in asking how can we help instead of saying we are here to, because a lot of times community members will just tell you what they need and you don't have to go in there with all these preconceived notions of what you think they need. So the sustainability portion is something that I really focused on through my internship here. Part of the problem in previous years was that we had a lot of engagement. We had great conversations in the rooms that we were in, but we weren't developing sustainable plans for how to address some of the problems that the community members had, right? So we would talk and talk and talk for years. Nothing would ever come of it, and people were starting to notice. So it was really important for us to build these plans, and it was really important for me as an alum to go into that room and be here's what we should be doing, now that I have this outside perspective. And we really focused on being clear about our intentions, being open about setbacks and limitations, and being open to the short-term and long-term vision of Catalyst projects, because we recognize that these are systemic problems, right? And it can't be solved in a 12-month or 9-month period. You need a lot of time and a lot of energy to keep that going. So over this last year, as I was their intern, we were able to develop sustainable, feasible, collective action project framework. So that essentially means from start to finish, we were able to give people kind of just a skeleton and a guideline to work with so they could just kind of fill it out. They learned how to conduct stakeholder analyses. They learned how to do transect walks through a community and really figure out where they were going to be helping and what those people needed. We had 6 big catalyst projects. So we did criminal justice reform, IRIS, which is an immigrant and refugee organization that already exists that we collaborated with, food insecurity, DACA reform, human trafficking, and environmental justice. And we also developed an Asana and Slack network, so all the different groups kind of have a universal place to collaborate, and we also invited alum to those networks, so it was really easy for myself, my Supervisor Sujata and other alumni to just give their feedback on the different projects that were going on. So through the process of developing this CAP framework and all these Catalyst projects, we were able to collaborate with OCHR, which is kind of that initial workshop that this stemmed from. So the Oxford Consortium for Human Rights holds teaching and research seminars on human rights, global conflict, humanitarian aid, peace building, and related subjects. Our aim is to understand and develop constructive solutions to the problems of today, drawing from scholars and students from a wide variety of disciplines. So OCHR has been around for about 7 years now, and it's run by Sujata Godker-Wilcox, who is my direct supervisor. On average, OCHR collaborates with 9 universities and holds 4 workshops a year, all in different locations, so they're really accessible for different people to attend. And the 2 biggest ones are the ones that are in Oxford, and then one that's in New York, which is in collaboration with the United Nations. And we have approximately 50 students participate in each workshop. Our alumni base is approximately 375 students, so it's really cool because it's gotten to the point now where a lot of us are working at these really interesting, cool places, and we kind of pull in OCHR students to work with us. So at these workshops, we learn how human rights plays a key role in social justice issues, both nationally and globally, how to integrate human rights principles into everyday life and educational curriculum, and how these principles impact a local community. So over the past year as their intern, I was able to develop a brand new workshop that is strictly targeted towards educational curriculum, because previous to that we'd had more global workshops that were focused on the right to education for those who might not necessarily have that in an everyday framework. But I thought it was really important for us as students in the United States who see people having access to education, worrying more so on the curriculum side of things. So we brought in new human rights leaders and community organizers into the OCHR network, which was really important to me personally because I come from a community organizing background, and I think that those are the people who really can have a lasting impact in terms of human rights principles and practices. We were able to broaden our network of universities and students in order to collaborate with more people, which was obviously a huge benefit because the more people that we can bring into these conversations, the richer the conversations are getting. And we were able to merge some of the principles learned through OCHR into the global engagement work and framework. So that was really key because sometimes it's really easy to be stuck in your little bubble, right? Of where you think the problems exist and how you think you should solve them. And then someone from London or South Africa or Brazil comes to you and they're like, hey, we fixed this problem in our country. This is how we did it. And you're like, oh, okay, I got you. I can do this too. And that's kind of what was happening with these conversations as we increased our collaboration. So it's been an incredibly rewarding year with Sujata, the Global Engagement Fellowship, and OCHR. Thank you.